Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. For the last couple of hours, I was reflecting upon this organizing activity and arrived at a few dilemmas, paradoxes, and ironies. And I just want to share them with you. We are here to witness the setting up of Organization Theory Center, which was a dream of a collective body of students who were doing research on various topics related to organization theory. We are here to receive the emancipation and arrival of this center. And we are here to provide a blueprint in terms of directions, ideas, inquiries, reservations, optimism, and goodwill to this center. Thank you very much for being with us. It was certainly an irony for me to see my name as chief guest, while I feel that I should have been mentioned as chief courtesy officer or chief host. It was again an irony for me, the irony of time, that great minds, and I've always been surprised by the attraction of great minds, top minds, to this field of organization theory. And it was irony of time that we could not give them the time that was required to fully share the depth and breadth of their thoughts. And we were constrained to limit ourselves to only those who were sitting upstairs here and not really engage those who are here for the last 2 hours. Your participation in silence is highly appreciated. And it would not have been possible without your cooperation to sit here in silence and listening to whatever came to you in the form of doses and points, whether you agree or not. You were made to listen to that. And this is again the irony of organizations, that some people have the luxury of talking and telling, and the others have the necessity and the urge to just listen and follow. It was again an irony of space. We were a bit crowded here, and we had to sit in angles to give way to those who were going to the rostrum and to those who were then coming back. And also the irony of agenda, of what to talk about. I brought myself a file, and I was a bit apprehended about the sentiments that you would have in your eyes when you would see me walking to this rostrum with a file, assuming that I have a whole lot to talk about. Another dilemma I was looking at, the center is titled as Organization Theory Center. To my organization theory is, of course, an accepted label for this whole arena, and that's how it is known as a subject in business schools, in sociology departments, maybe also it is taught in other departments like economics. Organization is not a noun, is not something which could be properly reflected in a noun form. It is a verb form, living. So we are dealing with organization. It is one of the most interesting area to reflect upon, to discuss, to talk about humans and the way humans organize themselves. But organizing is not limited to only humans. It is also common to all living things. And whatever is there, whether it's a dead mass, it is a living thing. We know now that all things are living things. So we are discussing organizing of living. Organizing of living. And to assume that the organization word would reflect that, I think it's improper. And the first breakaway that we should have right after the birth of the center is maybe to see whether we can change the name of the center. Because if we look at, or the prevalent conception about organization, that military is organization, the state is organization, formal organograms represent the organizations, hierarchies represent organization, order represent organizations, budget and controls represent organizations. These are organizations. In actuality, there is much more to organization than what is apparent at the interface, at the face level. There is informal organization. There's influence process that goes within the hierarchy. There is network among the people. There is chaos. There is disorder. There is the other. There is culture. There are values, beliefs, shared mindset, stories, myths, rather than the circular or specific directions, helping it organize. So we are talking about organizing, and we are talking about organizing of the living. We are talking about organizing of this galaxy of cosmos, organizing of microcosm within macrocosm, organizing of conflicts, organizing of different types of living species, organizing of continuous organizing, because organizing is a changing phenomenon. We can have a snapshot view of the state of organizing at one time, but it is actually a living form, and it requires something which is more like a verb, and something which can really encompass the totality of it, the holistic nature of it, which can address at once the formal as well as informal. The things which we can figure out apparently, which are documented, which are known, which are declared, and things which are not. We see giant organizations, dinosaur organizations, crumbling in a second, overnight. So what was wrong with them? They had everything that you could ask for within an organization. They had good health, financial, audit reports backing their existence. They had hierarchies, they had bank accounts, they had 100-story buildings. You see those organizations crumbling in a second. And you see an organization which was in Tahrir Square in Cairo, which led a giant state, apparatus of a state, and almost a kingdom, to crumble. Just this very soft organization, which had no office, no headquarters, no CEO, no hierarchy. So we are talking about organizing of living things, or living phenomena. And this particular field has always interested me, because I've always been interested in understanding who the humans are, what do they think, how do they think about themselves, and how they can be, or how they organize themselves, and what is it that is natural in organizing them, and what is it that is very formal. And I have always tried to tear apart whatever is formal, whatever is documented, whatever is told and seen, to see beneath, to see what is there. Because I always felt that what is there on the face of it is not the whole story. And there is much more interesting and challenging processes going on within it. So I feel that in order to do justice with with the whole field of this organizing, we may have to maybe change it to something around understanding organizing, thinking organizing, organizing thinking, something like that. And then again, center. Center represents something which is a very specific, which is one form and which has, control or something like that. And what we really want to have is a platform, is a hub, is an overlay of thoughts. We want discourse, we want discussion. There is no predetermined agenda. Your agenda is ours, and together. And there is no hierarchy. It's you, it's whoever turns up and has ideas, has something interesting to talk about, is there as leader, is there as as a moderator. So thinking about organizing and living is very interesting, especially in the current times. The era is very rightly pointed out about the speakers. We have seen the era of armies, giant militaries supporting the kingdoms, the sultanates, the countries. We have seen then East India companies like East India Company, and in their footprints follow up of thousands of transnational, multinational companies working all over the world, having roots in over 100 countries at once, having thousands of retail stores or hundreds of factories around the world. We have seen the era of those multinationals. And we have seen then that how chaos and how uncertainty and unpredictability in the environment brought those transnational organizations to their knees. And we have seen how very small companies with single person but one unique idea could really dethrone those transnationals and replace them. We have seen how the top 50 companies of New York Stock Exchange at the turn of last century were almost all gone away by the time the century ended. So there is this decline and rise of companies and the forms people organize according to the time. So I believe that we should not be hampered or we should not be carried forward by any prevalent mode of organizing, any prevalent structure of organizing. There is no mental model governing us or directing us. The first necessity is that we remain open-ended, that we address issues critically with a very open mind. And whether it's dogma, it's classics, it's about tradition, it's about history, it's about legacy, or it's about futuristic, it's about postmodern, it's about current times, it's about posterity, it's about future. We have an open mind and we see critically that what is it that organizing form, what is it that form of organizing, that culture of organizing, that view of organizing that helps us best to understand, to figure out the process, the structure and everything. So this is something that should be helpful to us in breaking new grounds, in finding frameworks which would be helpful to us to see these new emerging forms of organization, to evaluate them and to see how they are evolving. There are many different newer forms maybe we are not aware. Who was aware of Occupy Wall Street form of organization? Who Who was aware of Tea Party form of organization? Who was aware of Tahrir Square form of organization? And things like that. So I think we are into new arena. And this makes this topic very much more interesting to me as a student of organizing. And the first necessity that I talked about is that let's make ourselves independent and free of anything that any scholar has ever said in this field. And there are very good things. It's not to demean them. It's just to find for ourselves a new time and space in the new horizon, something where we can do justice with where we are and where we are headed. Secondly, I believe that if organizing is about humans, that how humans organize themselves, how they survive, how they bring themselves together, how they work themselves, how they live together, how they become together, how they lead each other, and how they relate to each other. If this is about organizing, then let us also focus on that very human being, that who this persona is, who this living entity is. And I feel when I studied management, when I studied organization, when I studied leadership, I searched University of Michigan database for dissertation, and I failed to find any thesis being done in the field of management about human beings. What an irony. That managing is about managing humans, and there is no thesis, no dissertation from any department of management about this management, about it, understanding the humans, the dynamics of humans, this challenging, the body of humans, and what a human being consists of, how this human being is evolving, and how it is progressing over a period of millennia, over a period of centuries, and from age to age, from continent to continent, from tribe to tribe, from community to community. So, one area where we need to focus, and here I would like to say that there's a difference between organization theory and organization behavior. Organization behavior is mostly concerned with the behavioral aspect of individual, of group, and organization. And it personally never interested me. I have taught organization, first time that I taught organization theory was in perhaps 1994-95. And I also have taught organization behavior, I think twice. But I soon left the field because I found it too narrow, defining too narrowly the behavior. The behavior is partially interlocked, the behavior is changing, and the way the organization behavior would define mostly is rooted in the field of psychology and scientific psychology, as per se. So I feel that it is the human behavior, human conduct, human character, human potential, human essence, human being, human welfare, human thought, that should also be part of this organization, so that of this theory is centered, so that we can really be more intelligent, more appropriate, and more closer to understanding the right spot about the organizing and how it evolves in various times for various targets. Thirdly, there's someone mentioned about the purpose of organization. I think this is something that is of interest to us. That what is the purpose of organizing? And purpose of organizing, the goal of organizing, or what is it that drives it? Purpose again is a concept of hierarchical organization, that look, this is the club and the purpose is to play football. What is it that enables organizations? What is it that enables organizing, that sustains organizing? What is it that facilitates? What is it that drives it? What is it that is envisioned in this organizing? So purpose is again a very interesting topic, and purpose of organizing, purpose, and with this cube, I think we will be able to find something which is not yet being discovered, something which is not yet being properly addressed. Purpose, declared purpose in the annual reports, in the CEO's speeches, and also the undeclared purpose, something which we have to dig out. So I think the purpose and objective would be something really very helpful. With these very initial thoughts, I personally welcome the depth of my heart, the luminaries, the scholars, the great minds who have come here to visit this inaugural ceremony of the Organization Theory Center. Since it is the Organization Theory Center, so I am saying that again. We really have, and I felt, I was full of engagement and involvement with every word and every sentence said by every speaker. So it was all great learning today, great enlightenment, very stimulating. I welcome all of you as well. Without you, it would not have been possible, and we would have the time, inshallah, to hear from you as to what you think and what you have to offer to this center. As I said, it is multidisciplinary, it is open-ended, it's about learning, it's learning about organizing, learning about organizing of living things, and we stand here to benefit from people from all diverse disciplines. We invited a leading architect, we invited scientists, botanists, we invited those who are fully engrossed in organization theories, we invited economists, we invited philosophers, we invited business school experts, because all of them, and if you look at the literature of organization theory, you will have all disciplines coming round and contributing to it. And that is one beauty of organization theory, that it attracts top minds, great minds, and it provides you a framework to discuss with generosity, with open-endedness, and with full, with interest to scientists, equally, to scientists as well as social scientists from physical science, natural science, social science, and also engineering and technology. So thank you very much for being with us. Let us welcome the arrival of Organization Theory Center by showing our overwhelming emotions and sentiments, and hope that this center would contribute to the welfare and the existence of human beings. Thank you.